Did you see that? Someone was there.
I know.
These seals are really powerful. I don't think that we can open them, baby.
What?
Wherever we are, this is not the world we both know.
Go back. This place is not safe.
You! What the hell are you doing here?
Not the time or place to talk. Go back from where you came. I will wait for you there.
Ergo? You know what that thing was?
Let's go back, baby.
Answer me.
There is something I need to check. Let's go back.
Babe, just this one time. Let's go back to the other room.
Why?
She was right. There's something ahead. Something that you can't win against while I am so weak. Let's go back. Wow, is it really you? You can't stop seeing me, not even after a generation, eh?
I have no choice. There are just some children who need a lot of attention. Hello, Ergo. You can't complain. This time you got a real beauty. There's no comparison to the previous bearers.
Nah, she's just a crybaby. You and your ass are still my favorites.
Are you trying to hit on me again?
Just until it works.
Sorry for ruining your date. Is it possible for one of you to tell me what's happening?
We meet at last, bearer of calamities. Sorry for my lack of respect.
Glad you know who I am. Unfortunately, I still don't know who you are, creature.
You don't know? For real? Pathetic. The whole of mankind owes everything to this woman. This creature, as you call her, is who, against all odds, managed to deceive and seal the most powerful monster which has ever walked the world.
You won't say it was you, right, little book?
You are Eliani Grimoire, the founder of Nathaniel, the first amongst the great saints. You're the woman who sealed Ergo in the Book of the Void.
Well, more or less. I'm happy to meet you.
Forgive my rudeness. I didn't anticipate anything good from one of Ergo's acquaintances.
I can't blame you for that. Also, my appearance is not exactly reassuring.
Are you dead?
I am as alive as you, but my body is in stasis due to some problems in the past. What you see now is just a spiritual projection that my mind, awake only for short periods of time, can generate.
What's happening, Ellie? Even if I know I am irresistible to you, I know you're not here for me. For you to get personally involved in something is not a good sign.
I'm not here of my own accord. Something called me, and I'm not alone. Just as you are, there are things gathering in this tower. Entities with real power. Some are already here, and others, they are still coming. I don't know what it was, but one of the worst ones was just at the end of where I met you. But I think that it already left.
Are you kidding me? Should I remind you who you're talking to? I can blow up this whole place with one finger.
I can feel how weak you are, Ergo. It's useless to hide it from me. I've never seen you like this. In your current condition, I'm not even convinced you're going to be fine. Or if she will, for that matter.
My lady, you don't need to worry about me. I have a mission to accomplish entrusted to me by the Supreme Inquisitor.
Bearer, I know the artifact you're looking for very well. It's a book written by my sister with her own blood. I can assure you, it's not our priority now. I still don't understand the scope of what's happening and where we are. I tried to reach some of these entities, but without success. It seems that access to them is somehow closed. There are different seals somehow linked with fragments of their essence. Maybe if we could obtain some of them. But
What's happening?
I am unsure. Sorry. I don't think I can sustain this form much longer.
Ellie!
You should... Sorry.
Wait! Damn.
Don't worry. She will be fine. She's a tough one. We will see her again soon. For sure.
Okay, let's go. Let's meet those things.
That sounds nice. A mansion?
Look at all those puppets. They seem almost alive.
Yeah, this looks like a haunted house. I hope that they move and attack us or something. That would be so cool.
Ugh. Solomon Magitech. Science of the Lost Times?
Unusual. It's not something you expect to see in a place like this.
Now magical golems from Solomon?
Yeah, this mansion is full of surprises. You see? Living evil puppets! Hell yeah!
Oh, shut up! There is so much suffering here. This formula, it emanates a different energy from the rest of this place. They say that 1 in every 1,000 people is special, and 1 in every million, an unparalleled genius. Nazcal Meyerim is 1 in a billion. Since childhood, he showed an inordinate talent to create, a skill that surpassed even the greatest masters of the world. With such a gift, there was never any doubt that, if he wanted, he could have become anything that he desired. But Nazcal did not care for such things, for his only passion was the marionettes. When he was a little boy, his parents took him to a theater, where he saw for the first time what would become his obsession. These simple figures of wood and metal, artificial beings posing as people, fascinated him in an incomprehensible way. And it was then, at such an early age, he decided to devote his life to them. Year after year, Nazcal learned everything about their construction and handling, developing unique methods to give them more realism and mobility. With time, his works became incomparable, so perfect that it was difficult to distinguish them from living beings. His marionettes were valued as masterworks and appreciated everywhere. And only now, upon turning 25, is Nazcal truly pleased. Everyone recognizes that he is the greatest artist in the world. This place. This is part of the messenger. Everything here resonates with his fragments of memories. We can use it to reach him.
Yes, but we will need at least 3 to summon him. Death traps? This is our best date ever!
I'm just a merchant, and if I had a name, I do not remember it now. Open this door, and I promise you that I'll know how to thank you.
The secrets, the passages, they echo in my head like screams. Stop them! Make them stop!
I have no importance. There is nothing I can do for you. My husband, he is imprisoned in this place. Free him.
Everything is confusing. I was a creator, the greatest of all, but I committed a sin. Now I have only what I deserve.
I am the one who devours everything, the one who stands over creation itself. I am the power.
I am nobody. I have never been. But somewhere in this prison is my wife. Free her. She will know how to reward you.
Blood. I only remember the blood. What kind of monster am I? No. Don't free me.
I am sorry, World Walkers. I have nothing to say.
So you really do have the ability to move between rooms in Arcane. They're definitely different from the rest.
You're the entity that we saw before in the central room.
Correct. But it would be better if you don't ask silly questions like who I am or what I'm doing here. I can't answer what I don't know.
You're different from the other shadows.
Because I have awareness of everything around me? You could say that.
I've seen more like you. They were locked in a prison. I tried to talk to them, but they were not lucid.
Nor will they ever be as long as they're there. For many of them, that's not where they belong. In their correct rooms, they would be more lucid, as you say.
So I just need to free them?
You can't release them. It would be impossible for you. The tower won't allow it. They're too entrenched in their memories.
And you think that some bars will be a huge impediment? Idiot.
What imprisons them may seem to be metal bars easy for you to bend and destroy, but I assure you, it's much more than that. Each place is a whole existence by itself. It's the very concept of a prison which contains them.
So there's no way?
I didn't say that. I said it was impossible for you. But why are you interested? Do you have some relationship with any of them?
A few seem to have relevant information for us.
Interesting. I think I'll help you with this. It may be worth contemplating what will happen.
Can you do it?
Every gate has an exit. Every prison a way out. Just as there are doors, there are also keys in the tower that can open them. Here's one. It will open any door, but only one. Like I said, there are more in Arcane. You only need to find them. But it would be better if you were both very careful when choosing which prisoners to release. Not all of them tell the truth. Not everyone deserves to be imprisoned. Not everyone deserves to be freed. Choose well. It will bring consequences. And even if you find all the keys, in the end, one door will remain locked. Now go. I'm done talking.
Nascal entered the hall where the Council of Brax was taking place. The greatest artists and creators of the world met once every decade under those walls. Different civilizations, even non-human creatures were there to show the wonders they had created over the years. Naturally, only the very best could attend, those whose fame had crossed all frontiers. For many of them, just having been invited represented an honor, but to Nascal, it was quite the opposite. They should feel honored by his attendance. The puppet master walked through the room, trying to pass unnoticed. He paid little attention to several uninspired works that only reminded him of why he was superior to everyone else. Nascal smiled ruefully. Although he did not expect too much from others, he had wished to find something to at least rival with his talent. Lost in those thoughts, a distant word caught his attention. Someone had mentioned Gaudeamus, the creator of wonders, whose fame had reached even Nascal's ears. Apparently, he had also been invited, and a group of people were talking to him not too far away. Interested by his fame, Nascal approached him to share some anecdotes with a fellow genius. To his surprise, the legendary creator was much younger than he had expected, and was quick to shake his hand and exchange a polite greeting. Nascal was about to ask about the works he was exhibiting in the council, when the whole room became silent. Everyone whispered that Gaudeamus had just arrived. At that moment, the confused Nascal understood what they meant, and a chill of terror ran through his spine. The person he was talking with was not a living being, but a doll. Work of Gaudeamus was what he had heard the people say before. Even if it was only for a moment, the mere idea that he had not noticed such a thing overwhelmed the mind of the puppet master. Frantically, his eyes began to gaze closely at all the works exhibited by Gaudeamus. The mere sight of them burned his retinas, but at the same time, he was unable to look away. The feeling of anxiety that oppressed his chest grew until it became pain. He even had trouble breathing in the same room that stored such wonders. Unable to wait any more, he staggered out of the room and did not stop running until he was outside. Then, Nascal cried and laughed as hard as he could. He had been blind all this time. In his egotism, he thought he was on top of the world when he was only standing on a small hill. Only in that moment did he realize that his work was far from having reached its full potential. That night would change his life completely. He would create greater works. He would surpass Gaudeamus, surpass them all. From that moment, his obsession would be perfection. The entity linked to this place is a psycho.
Yeah.
Nascal suddenly awoke. For months, he had been unable to sleep well, and that night had been particularly bad, something which he blamed on the emotion of being so close to finishing his work. Washing his face, he noticed how terrible he looked in the mirror, and thought that very soon he would have to be ready to return to society. Nascal was unsure of how much time had passed since he had visited the Council of Brax. After that night, he invested his vast fortune in creating a secluded mansion away from the civilized world. A huge and well-equipped workshop in which he could devote body and soul to his work, free from distractions. It had been years, or maybe even decades, since the last time he had contact with another human being. But loneliness meant little to him. All that mattered was that he was close to reaching his goal. Over the years, just improving his creative talent wasn't enough for Nascal. His goal was much higher. He devoted day after day to research the same process Gaudeamus developed to make his works, becoming an unrivaled expert in lost science and supernatural rituals. With such unusual tools, he managed to create countless animated puppets, which were able to move by themselves, the very ones that now protected his mansion and took care of its maintenance. But they were all just prototypes for his definitive work, the ultimate puppet. An artificial being so perfect, it would not be aware that it was not alive. Nascal solemnly went down to the heart of his workshop, where his most valued masterpiece waited for him. On the table was a body. Any observer would think without a doubt that it was a true human being. It had the same appearance as its creator, as identical as 2 drops of water. The master puppeteer smiled. In his next encounter with Gaudeamus, it would be his marionette that greeted him, an ironic joke that only he would be able to understand. After reviewing the status of the project for hours, Nascal determined that it was only a matter of days until it was finished. Only a few pieces were missing, which should be stored in his secondary workshop. With unusual anxiety, he walked to the north wing in search of them. It had been a long time since he had visited that area of the mansion, and he was not even really sure of why he stopped going there. Upon entering the room, the master puppeteer was struck by the terrible state of the place. He didn't remember having forsaken it for so long. Without giving it too much thought, Nascal walked to where the pieces were stored, but he saw something in his way which puzzled him. There, sitting in the workshop, was a corpse, holding the parts Nascal had come for. His flesh, rotted and dried, was in pretty bad shape, suggesting that it had been in that place for a long time. Surprised, Nascal approached to examine the body, but before he could do so, the puppet master became completely paralyzed with terror. Because, despite being worn and wasted, there was no doubt. The corpse had exactly the same face as him.